This is gonna be really interesting. I literally just woke up and I'm gonna make this video raw. Okay, so I read a paper yesterday. The title is, oh, that's not the one. Here it is. The title is Hypogonadism and Erectile Dysfunction Associated with Soy Product Consumption. Now, first of all, I would like to express immense gratitude to all of you because I've been getting a lot of amazing comments from YouTube, a lot of love, a lot of engagement, like scientific engagement. It's so sick. You know what? It's awesome. I think our YouTube channel can become like a scientific conference, like where, you know, I present and then you guys like ask me questions and we debate and we like really get to the bottom of what masculinity is and how we can be better men, which is so sick. Now, another interesting thing is last night, like really late, I was reading some comments and one guy sent me a paper about how veganism, guys who are vegans have higher testosterone than non-vegans. So I'm gonna read that paper and actually like critique it, see what's good, see what's bad, and we're gonna do that with every single paper. Now remember, we're objective, we're not cherry picking. If I give you a paper which shows that soy might hurt your testosterone or it might cause man boobs or it might cause, you know, erectile dysfunction, low libido, then there's gonna be another paper that may show the opposite. So I'm gonna show you that paper as well. So we're gonna go through it together. We're gonna look at the dates of these papers. We're gonna see who the scientists are that presented the journal that it was presented in, a lot of different things that have to do with the specifics of how legitimate the study is and how much we should believe in the study. So again, thanks a lot, guys. I'm in Medellin. I'm in my apartment right now and making this video. And it's quite great. Actually, at the end of the video, I'm gonna tell you what these white things are. I went to a bioenergetics doctor last night, like a medico here. And it was pretty interesting what he did to me. It was a lot of like Elliot Hulse stuff, like bioenergetics, breathing stuff, but it's so sick. Okay, I'm gonna tell you that either in the next video or at the end. Let's see how long this takes. And in another video, I'm gonna talk about how soy affects gynecomastia specifically. Okay, let's get to this paper. So the journal is Nutrition. Again, everything is gonna be in the description below. I'm gonna do the summary of the paper, the different like techniques, methods. So you can just read it in the description if you don't have like time to watch this video. But the video is gonna be dope because I'm gonna show you all the figures. We're gonna go through the figures together. It's like I'm presenting this to you guys. This is how science feels like. All right, so Journal is Nutrition. It was published in 2011. Again, the title is Hypogonadism and Erectile Dysfunction Associated with Soy Product Consumption. It's by a bunch of like MD, PhDs, amazing guys, Harvard Medical School people, and Albert Einstein College of Medicine people. So really smart people. Now, veganism, right? A lot of vegans come to this channel. Hey guys, thank you. I have a lot of friends that are vegan. Zach is one of my best friends from Montreal. He's one of the top boxers in Montreal, and he is vegan. He's been vegan for more than 2 years now. He's doing amazing. He has very high testosterone. I know that. No, I know he is. Like, you know, he's training like 3 times a day. He eats very healthy, very nice vegan diet, and he consumes a lot of soy. I don't know about a lot because the guy in this study did a lot. So I'm gonna get to that soon. But Zach consumes a decent amount of soy. And he's fine. So, you know, we have to think about this. We have to engage ourselves. And let me get a notebook because I have all my notes in here. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to present this paper, and then at the end, I'm in my underwear. You probably just saw that. And at the end, I'm gonna go through the notes just to make sure I don't miss anything, and I'm gonna again put it in the description for you. So in terms of veganism, like, I know soy protein is not the only protein that you can consume, obviously, right? There's brown rice has protein, kale has protein, obviously like beans have protein, not soybeans, like other like black beans, pinto beans. And then there's also a quinoa. You know, there's a lot of sources of protein that you can have. So, and then obviously there's like spirulina and there's hemp and there's other. So I would recommend that after this paper, if you feel that you don't want to eat soy anymore because it might cause erectile dysfunction, low testosterone, then just do other sources of protein. You know, veganism is awesome. Just have to be very, very smart when you're vegan, all right? Let's get to it. So, first of all, what is hypogonadism? Oh, by the way, I've put the link to the paper in the description, so click on it and you can go through this paper with me together, okay, at the same time. So hypogonadism is basically the science word for low testosterone. There's two types of hypogonadism, primary and secondary. As you know, testosterone production starts from the brain. It goes all the way down to the testicles. So in the brain, there's hypothalamus, pituitary gland. Hypothalamus releases GnRH, gonadotropin releasing hormone, which binds to a receptor in the pituitary gland. And then the pituitary gland releases LH and FSH, which goes all the way to the testes, binds to the receptors there, and then the testes produce testosterone. That's the entire pathway. So hypogonadism, there's primary and secondary. Primary is when there's a problem in the testes. And that's where you have some issue which is not involving the central nervous system, right? So all the signals are fine from the brain, but there's a problem in the testes. That's primary. Secondary hypogonadism is when there's a problem here. So the signals are just not being sent, right? So there might be a problem in the pituitary gland, there might be a tumor, there might be certain things. So that's what hypogonadism is for those of you who don't know. Now let's get into the paper. So let's break down a little bit of this. So erectile dysfunction is a proponent of low testosterone. Now, some people say, no, doc, erectile dysfunction has nothing to do with testosterone. Yes, it does. Let me tell you what I mean by that. So, yes, there's two types of erections, sex erections and morning wood, right? Nighttime nocturnal penile tumescence, it's called in science, morning wood. So the morning wood erection is testosterone dependent. The sex erection is actually dependent on many things. Testosterone is one of them. Not like a key factor, but testosterone is one of them. Dopamine is a huge part of it. That's why the relation to porn and porn addiction and porn-induced erectile dysfunction, because dopamine is a big part of it. And also oxytocin is a big part of it. Now, I go on these tangents, and the reason I do that is because I want you to learn all these little itty-bitty things about testosterone that I've studied over the last 3 years. That's why I'm telling you. So if you really want to only say, hey, what the hell is in this paper? I don't care about anything else. I'm going to put it in the timestamps below, so you can just go to those timestamps and only get what you want from the paper, because this is kind of like a tangential rant that I can't help myself. I have to educate you. Okay, now next is what is soy, right? So soy is it's like a soybean. It's a plant. It's like a soy. Like soybeans are there. There's soy milk. I haven't studied soy like in detail, but I know that I believe it's a plant. Correct me if I'm wrong if it's a plant. This paper didn't say it, but I haven't done like tons of research on what soy is. But I know there's like soybeans, there's soy milk, there's soy chips, tofu obviously, and then like edamame is what soybeans are. Anyway, so soy contains an active ingredient known as an isoflavone. Isoflavones, they are what are known as phytoestrogens, Phyto, and there's two types inside soy. There's daidzein and genistein. These are the two phytoestrogens. Now, what is a phytoestrogen? What is a xenoestrogen? There's all these little lingos. Let me tell you about it. Plastics have something called BPA, bisphenol A, which is a xenoestrogen. It converts, it basically, think of it like aromatase, right? An aromatase is an enzyme that takes free testosterone, converts it into estrogen, right? That's how you get man boobs. I'm going to talk about that in another video soon, in the future. Daidzein and genistein are phytoestrogens because their chemical formula, their structure and function are very similar to estrogen. So they can bind very easily to an estrogen receptor. Okay, so there's estrogen receptors all over the body. There's estrogen receptors in the testes. And in Leydig cells specifically, which actually produce testosterone, so there's androgen receptors, there's estrogen receptors. So instead of estrogen binding to it and doing its bioactivity, daidzein as well as genistein, which are isoflavones inside soy. These can bind to the estrogen receptor and do its bioactivity, but it will be less than estrogen itself. So it won't be like crazy, like holy shit estrogen, but it's gonna do estrogenic stuff like man boobs and other things, lowering testosterone and so on. Because the testosterone to estrogen ratio is very important in a man. That is what could cause a masculine characteristic or a feminine characteristic. Okay, so now let's get into what the hell is going on. All right, so this guy, so what is this paper? Okay, man, we're already at 10 minutes. It's gonna be a long ass video again. That's just how it is, man. I have to educate your ass. Again, look at the timestamps. Now, this is a case report, okay? This is not like a study done with 3,000 people, like some kind of like meta report or something. It's a case report. So a guy came into the lab or the clinic or the hospital to the doctor, and there's an issue. There's like some interesting issue, like Dr. House style. And they're like, okay, what do we do to this guy? Well, we have to solve his issue, and then we're gonna write a paper explaining to the world what we did so people can learn about it. Capiche? All right. Now, capiche, I should be like, entiendes? So now, this guy is 19 years old in the paper, right? 2011, so he's like 25 now. He's a 19-year-old pre-diabetic, okay? He's a pre-med student. He comes into the lab. Now, the pre-diabetic part of it, they controlled for. They made sure that the medicine he was taking, because he's pre-diabetic, doesn't actually result in lower testosterone. So they controlled for a lot of stuff. I'm gonna walk you through all those little controls they did. So now this guy comes in, and he's 19 years old, type 1 diabetic, and what happens? He tells them that he has low libido, he has erectile dysfunction, and he just has like feminine characteristics, and his masculinity is dead. And they say, well, what's going on? So they, he talks about what's happening and why it might be, and they find out that he has been a vegan for a year, okay? So now they're like, okay, maybe it's the vegan diet. Maybe it's not the vegan diet, but maybe it's something that he's not doing right. So that's the thing, guys. If you're vegan, it's great, but you have to do it correctly. You can't just follow some YouTubers on veganism and like be, oh, okay, I'm just gonna do this. You have to really do your own research and figure it out for yourself, or, that's it. What the fuck, right? Let me quick, okay, so now let's I'm gonna give you the result of the paper, and then we're gonna go through, actually, I'm not gonna give you the result, we're gonna go to the end, give you that at the end. But basically what they wanted to know was, can the fact that this guy was consuming so much soy as part of his vegan diet, this guy was consuming 376 milligrams of soy per day. Usually, like guys like us, like normal like meat eaters, or like maybe even if you're a vegan and you don't eat soy so much, it's like 2 milligrams a day. Like part of the American diet is like, or, the diet that they gave him as a pre-diabetic, it's like 2 milligrams a day. This guy was consuming 376 milligrams a day. Now, I don't know where he got this information, why this much, but he might have gotten it from YouTube. So now, they wanted to know what's happening to his testosterone, because testosterone is associated with erectile dysfunction, low libido, and so on. And they wanted to know what's happening with free testosterone, total testosterone, and other hormones, as well as other factors that are part of his life, and to see if the vegan diet, the soy consumption, is the reason this is happening. Because there's all this research about soy over the last 20 years, right? There's a lot of stuff about like soy actually alleviates or reduces the risk of breast cancer. There's things about heart disease, how soy helps with heart disease. And there's a lot of good stuff with soy, right? But then there's these studies where, soy causes man boobs, soy causes like bitch tits, gynecomastia. Soy causes a lot of low testosterone symptoms. So they wanted to figure out, is this also the case, and what the hell is happening? Is it like the way soy is absorbed by different people? Is it inter-individual differences? Is it the fact that soy is like the types of soy that you eat, how much soy you eat? Maybe there's a threshold of soy which causes these like low masculine features. Anyway, so now, so they tried to figure this out. So now let's go through figure by figure, all right? So I'm gonna show you this. This is A. Now here you see the y-axis shows picograms per milliliter. The x-axis is the number of days that they monitored his free testosterone. And you'll see that the day he stopped the vegan diet, his free testosterone was like 35. It was really low, okay? And I'm gonna show you another figure. Actually, I'm gonna show you that right now. All right, let me show you that right now. So you see, if you look at the second row, free testosterone picograms per milliliter, the range is 50 to 210, okay? And this guy was at a 35.5 at day 0. Okay, now let's go back to the original figure. So now 35 is really low. It's below the normal range. So now when he stops the vegan diet, he stops soy consumption totally. You'll see that at day 15, then at day 158, and then at day 724, which is 2 years after, his testosterone's great. His free testosterone's amazing. And what happened is his symptoms went away. So he had high libido again. His erectile dysfunction went away. He was getting amazing erection. So that's what happened with free testosterone. Now let's go to the second figure, total testosterone. Sort of the similar story, right? Now again, look, what is total and what is free testosterone? Let me educate you now that. Total testosterone is just, if you count all the testosterone molecules in your body, that's total testosterone. Free testosterone is how much testosterone you actually have available to use for erections, for libido, for hair, associations with hair like beard growth and so on. Hey, by the way, what do you think about my beard? It's gone. And other things like bone density and muscle gains, muscle gains and so on. There's a lot of reasons that you need free testosterone. And there's various aspects of, why is something free. So SHBG, which I'm going to get to soon in the discussion when we talk about what are the mechanisms. There's 3 mechanisms where soy could cause these low testosterone effects. And I'm going to go through these 3 mechanisms. One of them has to do with SHBG. Essentially what happens is SHBG binds to testosterone. So if you have very high SHBG, you will have low free testosterone. Okay, it's sex hormone binding globulin. That's what SHBG is. Anyway, I'm not gonna get into the details. Again, if you don't know what SHBG is, comment below and I'm gonna address every single comment. So now again, you see with total testosterone, at day 0, he stops, it grows a little bit at 15, at 158, and then significant, like double growth after 2 years. So it takes time, right? And there's a theory about this too. They get into that at the very end of the paper. If you consume soy for a year and you consume like massive amounts, this guy did 376 milligrams, which is nuts. It takes 2 years for the body to become homeostasis, like the homeostasis in the body to readjust to the normal levels takes time. Anyway, so now we finished B, now let's go to C. This is just a percentage. They just looked at the percentage of free testosterone and they see, it's below 1. Remember, it's 1 to about 2.7% is the range that you want to be at. So he was below 1, so he was below the normal range, and then he went all the way almost up to 2%. So he became normal in the percent as well of free testosterone. Now, back to this figure, or this table, they had the data for total free and DHEA, huge thing about DHEA. So DHEA is one of the precursors of testosterone. If you look at the entire cycle, how testosterone is made in the endoplasmic reticulum as well as the mitochondria of the cell inside the testes, you'll see that DHEA is one of the precursors. DHEA, there's enzymes, I'm going to show you the names of these enzymes and stuff. There's these enzymes that take DHEA and produce testosterone out of them inside the cell. So DHEA, crazy high in this guy. Yeah. So testosterone, total testosterone, free testosterone, super low, DHEA is super high. So now they're thinking maybe there's some negative feedback thing going on where if you start getting low testosterone because of the estrogen conversion, then DHEA needs to get kicked up. It needs to like jack up so it can produce more testosterone. So that's the theory. So now let me get into this is sick. I love this figure, okay? Figure 2. Inhibition of testosterone synthesis through isoflavones. Basically, it's showing how daidzein and genistein, which are isoflavones inside soy, can disrupt the production of testosterone. So you see DHEA converts into androstenedione. Fuck, I hate pronouncing these words. They're just like... By the way, guys, I'm not a biochemist, okay? I'm gonna make this very clear. I did my undergrad in computer science and engineering. So I'm an engineer, okay? I engineer, I solve shit. And then I did my master's and PhD in neuroscience. And my neuroscience was very engineering related, okay? So even though I did take like classes that were biochemistry related, I'm not a biochemist by any means, okay? So, but we're gonna go through this together. Like, I don't know everything. I'm just letting you know I'm being honest with you. Like, I'm not a biochemist guy. So some of these words, if I can't pronounce, like, that's it. So DHEA gets converted. Now, the real path that you want to show is look at the arrow going down. Okay, so DHEA using 7-beta HSD, which is hydroxysteroid dehydrogenase. Right? This enzyme converts DHEA into androstenedione. And then 3-beta hydroxysteroid dehydrogenase converts that into testosterone. And now you see the isoflavones, you see the negative? That negative is inhibition. So it's inhibiting the enzyme from converting androstenedione to testosterone. And then you have another inhibition where DHEA is getting converted through 7-beta HSD to androstenedione. So that's 2 ways of inhibition. Then you see another inhibition where androstenedione converts to testosterone using the enzyme 7-beta HSD. If you can't understand this figure, it's too complicated, great, no problem. Comment below and I'm gonna explain to you what's happening. You just have to like kind of go through it a little bit. I'm sorry I'm not drawing my mouse and stuff. I'm not there like sophisticated video editing yet, but just like raw stuff here. So that's what's going on. This is one mechanism whereby testosterone is lowered by isoflavones. And another interesting thing is DHEA is kicked up because, you know, if DHEA is not being converted, it's being increased. Simple as that. Now I'm gonna walk, we're at 24 minutes. Now I'm gonna make sure I didn't miss anything, and then I'm gonna conclude. And I'm gonna tell you what the fuck this is. This is good. Phytoestrogens, animal studies. Oh yeah, phytoestrogens. Very, very interesting. The reason there is this entire controversy, confusion with phytoestrogens like isoflavones is that some studies show that they're agonists, some studies show they're antagonists. What the fuck is that, right? Now, a receptor that sits outside of a cell gets a ligand, or a chemical messenger, hormone, whatever you want to call it, a neurotransmitter. There's many lingos you can use, but usually it's a ligand. A ligand binds to a receptor, okay? Now, what they're showing here is it could either be an agonist, which means it is it's an agonist, so it's excitatory. I'm trying to use the right word so you don't get confused. It's excitatory. It excites the membrane and it excites the cell, and the receptor does what it's supposed to do. So for example, it might open voltage gated ion channels. Comment below, I can explain to you what that is. There might be a G protein coupled receptor, so it activates G proteins, and then there's like a cyclic AMP and protein kinase A. There's this entire biochemistry going on inside the cell with the G protein coupled. Voltage gated stuff is faster than G protein coupled. A lot of the stuff we study with testosterone is G protein coupled. It's very slow acting. So that's what an agonist is. An antagonist is something that inhibits, or that allows the receptor to not do its thing. It's an antagonistic. It blocks the receptor, you could say. So these are the two. So studies have been done where they show isoflavones are agonists and antagonists, both. So that's why people are confused about what the hell is isoflavones? Is it good? Is soy good for you? Is soy bad for you? I don't fucking know. And again, this is a case report. So I'm not saying soy is bad. I'm not saying veganism is bad. I'm not saying any of that. I'm just saying this happened to this guy. Be fucking careful of how much soy you eat. Blah, blah, blah. Okay, yeah, they control for a lot of stuff. This guy didn't have a history of testicular trauma, androgen abuse, drug abuse, none of that stuff. After 2 years, it was normal. We already know that. Man, I covered a lot of this shit. Oh, the mechanisms, super important. The mechanisms. So they talked about 3 mechanisms which may cause this entire soy to low testosterone fiasco. One we already covered, right? The DHEA, right? So DHEA conversion is affected because of the negative feedback. So there's all this inhibition going on. DHEA goes up, low testosterone goes down. Simple as that. The second way is that isoflavones can bind to estrogen receptors located on Leydig cells to cause low testosterone and high estrogen. Okay? So Leydig cells have testosterone receptors, androgen receptors, as well as estrogen receptors. So these phytoestrogens can bind to those Leydig cells receptors and cause lower testosterone by increasing estrogen. That's the second mechanism. Third mechanism is SHBG. The fact that if isoflavones are somehow increasing SHBG, that could lower testosterone. So these are the 3 mechanisms they did. And I'm gonna leave you with this, and then we're gonna just talk about this shit. Yeah. This is what's super interesting. Why soy could be even more harmful than we thought of. They showed that LH is not affected. Luteinizing hormone, the hormone in the pituitary gland that is released from the pituitary gland to the testes that triggers testosterone, it wasn't affected. It should be affected though, right? Because there's a negative feedback loop. So if there's lower testosterone, there has to be higher DHEA, but also higher LH and higher GnRH. But LH was not even affected. So the hypothesis there is soy is even fucking around with the central nervous system. It's messing up the secondary part of the hypogonadism. The central nervous system part of it is messing that up too. That's sort of the video. Comment below. Yeah. So I'm gonna tell you this comment below shit. Then we're gonna get into this. Then I'm gonna end. Yeah. I was gonna think maybe I should do that another video. No, I'll do it. 29 minutes already. All right, fuck it. I'm gonna do another video. Let's just end it here. I'm gonna make a video about what happened here with the doctor and what the hell all this is. Then I'm gonna make a video about gynecomastia and soy, another amazing paper I read. I'm gonna keep reading and keep distributing to you. If you like this video, hit the hit the like button. Comment below. Let me know your thoughts on soy. Have you been consuming it? Do you consume 376 milligrams? How much do you consume? If you like these styles of videos, also share this with people who you think might benefit. And yeah, man, subscribe to the channel. Hit the subscribe button. Oh, I already said that. And thanks a lot. Let's engage in the comments. And I'm here in Medellin, having fun. Man, I hurt my back, like really badly, and I haven't lifted in like 4 days. It sucks, but I'm gonna tell you about it in the next video. Thanks a lot, guys. go out there, reclaim your masculinity, and I love all of you. It's really great, and I'm very happy. Science is awesome!